Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of your Daily Dose. Coming at you like every other PB style video. Something new, something exciting. But I am your host, PB, so welcome if you're new or visiting to the channel. Today, someone very sneakily slid into my DMs and shot me through an invitation to this game, and it has just come out for iOS and Android. Now, I do believe there was some beta testing. I think it might be available on BlueStacks and the emulators, but for us, it is brand spanking new on server 11. Currently going through at least 45 minutes of gameplay. I have been doing it very idly, haven't been taking it too seriously, but I figured, why don't we jump in while we're all brand new? Let's do some rookie mistakes, let's butcher the account, and then when I probably play a little bit seriously, if I decide to keep playing, that is, I'll probably do some guides and, of course, whale a little bit. If you know anything about me, you know I like to spend money and I like to show others how to do it properly as well. And there are ways to whale and there are dumb ways to whale, so always stay tuned for those ones. However, everyone loves a free-to-play too, and I do enjoy doing those guides as well. Not as fast-paced, but equally enjoyable when you make some progress. First things you're going to notice is that you are going to be prompted to do the campaigns. Now, in my opinion, they kind of missed it a little bit, and I try not to go super into the whole critiquing when you're doing a little bit of an opening game review. But for me personally, when you jump into it, you have to do all these little progressions. So to unlock the future chapters and stuff like that, you actually need to do some hallmarks. Now, don't get me wrong, they give you lots of free stuff and the chapters are really quick to do, and we'll get into that in a second. But it does kind of pigeonhole your journey, and I feel like maybe that's meant to be because some players will get lost, like me, get distracted, see all these red dots, and pretty much play the game and maybe bundle it up a little bit. One thing, though, I would recommend is doing the download and claiming those rewards. You're going to need this stuff right here, Hero XP, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how it makes you slightly OP in the beginning of the game, and I hope that they rectify that with some of the levels later on. But first things first, what I would recommend doing is play the world map. Once you've done the first two chapters, i.e. Sword Harbor and Miracle Castle, it'll walk you through, it'll speed up the progress, it'll give you the auto function and increase the battle speed. Love that, can't complain. Give you some treats along the way for completing that. But the main idea is you want to get into unlocking these little beginner challenges. Now, I would have to say the sign-in, again, is a little bit limited, so depending on, I want to say how far you progress. So stage 2, I think stage 210 was what the unlock was for this one. Don't quote me, you'll see it when you jump in the game yourself, but you will get a lot of resources. So once you've done that, make sure you head over to the settings, make sure you hit this redeem function, and I'm going to show you the codes on the screen in a second, and then I'm going to show you them in the description field down below, but that's pretty much where they are, and these are the redeem codes here. So redeem code is IM777, and that's going to give you 7,000, well, I'd love it was 7,777 gems, some gold, and of course some of these yummy, excellent ruin crystals. The next one is test with 6 ones behind it, and that will get you some of those. But don't worry if you don't like writing and typing on the screen. That will be in the link in the description field below. Copy paste them straight in once you clear stage 10.2. Now, we're going to go ahead and complete those. Also, if you are curious, you will get an option to do a survey. I would recommend playing at least 20 minutes to half an hour, maybe an hour before you complete the survey. So it's a little bit of an honest reflection, but do so because you also get some summons crystals. Now, in saying that, the game has basically told me in order to progress, I need to do some summons. So we go into here, it's going to tell me to complete this a little bit of an extra summons. We're going to go into the excellent wishes, and there you go. I seem to have already accumulated, if I can speak English, accumulated enough of these purple summons, regular summons, so excellent, refined, a couple of supremes. Oh, I don't know. Should I save them for 10? We'll see. And even some miracle wish summons. So, generous? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm going to reserve my outcome by the end of 7 days, and I'll let you all know if this really is free to play friendly. But I think what we can do, we can summon out some of these. So you need to do like, I think it's like a 50 bomb, and I think you get 10 in return. I don't really feel like you're gonna get too many crazy things out of this one. Like this is like the basic summons if you're familiar with Idle Heroes. Whereas this is probably going to be like the heroic summons. Now I am a little bit hesitant, and I will say this, maybe this is a trap, and maybe we'll learn together, because they normally do events when it comes down to excellent or superior summons. I know that they do heroic summons in other DH styled games, certainly in AFK Arenas and Raid Shadow Legends, which is very reminiscent of this playstyle. I do have to say, I don't know if I want to pull it, but you all know we're going to do it, right? Because we have a guaranteed one legendary hero. So let's go ahead and we're going to pull these ones. So we're going to, I think, do 5 pulls before we get the guaranteed legendary. Now, I don't know if that resets it or not. I'm not sure, but it doesn't seem to. I think legendary is yellow. But anyway, we're going to check these out together. These guys are pretty cool animations. I have to say, like, definitely almost WoW semi-raid vibes. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think these guys remind you of. Let's check out some of the ladies. Oof, we have one of these ones, a centaur. I don't know if that's the right political name anymore. Um, hmm. I wonder what you do. Okay, special punishment, poison damage, damage to random enemies, throwing some poison. Got this shadowy looking figure. I think this guy's probably like OP, right? He looks OP. I'd laugh if he was like food for later on. Holder is attack for 2 turns. Mineral grants counter attack. Counter attack seems to be pretty prevalent. We'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. Holder deals more magic damage to any target. Ooh, under bleed status. So this guy is a bleed master. Ah, I like this. I like to learn as I go along. All right, let's do some more summons. Obviously, the more purple, the more better. I would love to grab some more purples, but they are looking funky. Look at this guy, Mr. Crystal guy. Definitely looks like a Wraith. AoE, if I can speak English, and poison damage. Esther. And we got a dwarf. Yeah. Ooh, okay. He heals. Now, if you're curious about what I'm reading, I'm just reading up the little tooltips in the top. Now, I don't feel like it needs to be ultra complicated when you play a game. If you can't tell just by being intuitive, I feel like, shut up now. All right, all right. So I got this HAL 9000. I don't know how I feel about it. What does he do? We should at least respect the man or the machine and have a look. Deals defense damage to a single enemy and gains a layer of decode. What does decode do? Oh, decode? What does decode do? Decode increases damage caused by genetic shock. So this is probably genetic shock. Deals damage to a single target. Each layer of decode increases 40% damage dealt. Awards a layer of decode will be granted. So additional buffs, level 3, you get more buffs. And his passive ability is self-maintenance. Each level of decode reduces damage taken by 2% at the turn or at the start of the turn, restores health by 5% of max HP. Meanwhile, he additionally stores 2 HP for lost HP for each layer of decode. So he's definitely a tank. He's definitely a tank. It could be worse. I'm not going to say it could be better, but it could be worse. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. All right. If you don't have any horses, it's fine. Hold on to something. So apparently, that was an introduction. Now you need to do 99 more summons to get a guaranteed one legendary. Extra value guaranteed for beginners. Now, I don't know what that means. I'm a beginner, so I'm hoping that that means we're going to get some additional chances at a drop. But should I realistically be wasting my pulls? What if I get another one? Is what the old little voice in the head says. We should do it. We should do it just in case. I mean, look, I like the fact we got another copy of that Christian guy. I actually only got one legendary, but this guy looks pretty badass. Like, I'm not going to lie, I quite like that. But he also looks like a tank. And one more 10 bomb, maybe we get super duper lucky again. No, but we did manage to get at least one more. I'm just going to save the 10 bombs. Should I do a pull here, though? I mean, there's probably an event. I'm probably not. It's probably the worst idea in the world, but let's just do it. Because why not? We're having fun, and there's always an opportunity to restart over. Verto, you look pretty. You look pretty sick, man. You do obviously extra hits, attack up percentage. What's your AoE ability to all allies? Okay, has a damage, a 30% chance to reduce their crit rate, so you debuff. Nice, nice, nice. Passive grants all allies 40% effect, so more attack. When Verto survives, when multiple skills increases their attribute, only the strongest one will take effect. Interesting, interesting. But can I luck out? Can I luck out? Please. It's a gold one. No, I thought it was a gold one. Say it was a gold one. No, it's just an epic. That's fine. It's fine. Maybe old mate Morbius is awesome as well. Who knows? I know that I feel like this game is going to get very, very addictive very, very quickly, and we're all going to want to summon as many as we can. Make 2 purchases at the market. So I may or may not have done the wrong thing, but I decided to go ahead and buy these sets. I don't know. Something just screams by me. Maybe I'm just wasting my gold. I don't know. What do you know? What do you think should we be spending it on? I feel like it's almost like it's necessary to buy these upgrades, right? We're just gonna have to go and purchase that. I don't know. Hero XP seems like always a good bet. Of course, we have Arena and we have event stores as well, which we'll be covering hopefully by the end of the week. So stay tuned for that one. Grab some more of the Hero XPs, and then, of course, we unlock the next section. Now, I find this very odd because it's like you unlock the next section, but you can't progress until you actually go in here and do this stuff. So here we go. Temple number 4. Now, if you are confused, I believe there was a guy that gave them a map, but I forget what his name was. It'll come to me. It'll come to me, or it'll be shouted on the screen. But there was someone that gave a map, and then they went on an adventure to find some big bad, and here we are. Now, of course, when it comes to team confirmations and stuff like that, I am an absolute noob. But I feel like going for the most obvious is probably the best bet. Now, each nation has their own specific abilities. Each of these guys probably brings something else to the table. I feel like going like this isn't a terrible idea. I did buy the like $3 pack to get this straight looking dude because he's a dragon. Who wouldn't? However, these are probably not the greatest ideas. I'm just going to stick with it. I'm going to learn as we go along. Now, actually, I should probably mention this. So I'm going to slow it down real quick. There are a couple of things here. I feel like they let you become OP too quickly. Like our dragon dude's gonna one shot because he's level 63. Would I recommend for a new player like leveling up your one hero to like level 63? I mean I did it by accident. I'm not gonna lie. I pushed the button, I saw what it said on the screen, and I still did it. Was it an accident? Maybe 50-50. I know it's probably going to get a little bit easier or a little bit harder, I should say. Hopefully, a little, fingers crossed, harder later on. But right now, for the introductory sides of things, you can pretty much just one shot with the starter heroes you get. So you get Kristen as a starter hero, and he pretty much just goes through and caps. As you can see, like, your other heroes will level up each fight, so you don't necessarily need to spend your upgrade resources on them, and you can always rebirth them later on and get some of that stuff back. But at the moment, it's a little bit boring. I'm not going to lie. Like, I did it to myself. I take full accountability for it. But at this stage, it's like you can speed it all the way up to number 4, and you can turn auto on or auto off. You will, of course, be a little bit more in control when you take the auto feature off. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing or anything like that, because I feel like everybody should have a chance to at least experience the game. Now, you can make shields happen. You can do AoE abilities. I think you can do your active. I would like some more explanations. Do I need to hold it down? Okay, so you need to hold it down in order to actually expand upon the skill set. So you'll know what they do. I think this is an AoE. Yep, so we click on that. We click over here. And then boom, we can go forward from there. Now, in saying that, these guys have passive abilities. You can't control passive abilities or anything like that. You have a shield ability. Is this a shield deals or not? All damage deals. So this is the one that he was doing before. And then, last but not least, you'll do your single target to the main dryad in the beginning, and then it just moves on to the next one. So If you'd like to get intimately acquainted, and I strongly suggest doing this whenever you play a game, figure out what passives work, figure out what abilities do what, figure out which ones you should be using, if you should be using them at all, or if you should just be going auto function. One thing that I will say this is if you do go auto function, chances are you probably will end up not enjoying it as much, although it will allow you to potentially progress a little bit quicker through some of the boring stages. Now, I imagine because this is very, very similar in a lot of ways to Raid Shadow Legends, there's going to be raid bosses, there's going to be level bosses, there's going to be loot bosses, there's going to be gear bosses, there's going to be resource bosses. It's going to be lots of stages of spamming until you get your desired rewards and drops. So if you're in for a bit of a long haul, a little bit of a gameplay experience like that, then I definitely would say that this game is shaping up to be very, very similar. Now we're going to turn on the auto function. We're going to do it ×4 speed, and we're just going to watch them basically melt away. This is my only little bit of a gripe. Maybe it's fun for some people, but for me, it's a little bit pointless. I would argue that the campaign side of thing is probably not meant to be it's probably not meant to be super appreciated. It's more meant to be endured, and then it probably unlocks things like the event progress. So there are some interesting things that I can see, but I can't particularly participate in yet. I would absolutely love to give this stuff a go. You know, I like to roll the dice. If you're across from any of the other games, you know PB likes to gamble. But yeah, there looks to be there's some interesting stuff. There's some Dwarven Ruin trials. There's some voyage completion, equipment artifacts, enhancement goals. There's certainly some things that I would say are pretty decent. Now, you can get all these other goals as well. Like, don't ask me to explain them to you. I'm an absolute noob. All I know is that by participating and by doing some draws and leveling up, you'll actually unlock some additional goodies. So absolutely go ahead and explore in your own leisure. Now, I do notice that you do get like a leech set, and you do get one of these heroes at the end of it, which is kind of cool. Not gonna lie, I mean, it makes you want to come back and play. I'm gonna give this game 7 days, and then I'm probably gonna do a full-scale review on it. Pros, cons, ins and outs. But you let me know in the description field down below. Would you like to see me play for the next 7 days? If so, what would you like me to do? How would you like me to describe the action? And of course, if you have any critiques or anything else that you'd like to comment on the channel, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification button and do so. I do like a participator, but I also like people that do support other content creation. Be mindful, of course, this is a new game. It just came out. It feels good. It feels good. I'm going to say that. I don't want to be critical just yet. I want to give it at least a good couple of days, maybe a week of gameplay before I make, like I said, the analysis. If you haven't already, make sure you jump into our Discord, and link is filled below. If I can't get those links, I will link the official Discord down there as well. Now, of course, I would be remiss in saying this. I don't believe it's going to be like a, what's it going to say? I don't believe this will be a series. But I'll have to wait. I'll have to wait and see. It really depends on what players want to see, if they are willing to go along the journey. If I do get some good feedback, if I do get, well, just feedback in general that people are interested in watching this gameplay, I will invest my time there. And I'm just saying that because obviously I have 3 or 4 other games that I play on the channel, and they do consume a lot of my time, effort, and resources. But let me know. Let me know if you are, of course, going to be interested. And, of course, check out the outro. All the details should be in the outro in the link in the description field. But, yeah, catch you in the next one.
Infinite Magic Raid. Play to slay.